Unprecedented turmoil in Bangladesh continues after Hindu leader Chinmoy Krishna Das Brahmachari was arrested on Monday on sedition charges, for which he was denied bail on Tuesday. One person was killed in clashes between police and protesters in the port city of Chattogram on Tuesday. The caretaker government of Mohammad Yunus has ordered a probe into the alleged killing and stepped up security in the city. Meanwhile, the harassment of media personnel is also on increase in Bangladesh. India's Ministry of External Affairs on Tuesday expressed deep concern over Chinmoy Krishna Das's arrest and denial of bail. The MEA added that it's unfortunate that perpetrators of these incidents remain at large while a religious leader is pressed with charges. All right, and Veena Sikri, former Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh from Delhi, has joined us to discuss more on this. Welcome, High Commissioner. Situation is certainly not good in Bangladesh, and whatever happened or is happening is highly condemnable. How do you analyze the entire situation?
Yes, actually, it is definitely condemnable, and it's a matter of great concern that the minorities in Bangladesh are under such severe attack. This has been the situation right from the 5th of August, which is the day when Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina left Bangladesh and came to India. And the first target of attack were the minorities, and there were, rapes and killings and lootings and abductions. As you know, it was taken up very strongly by our government with the Bangladesh government. Our Prime Minister spoke about it from the ramparts of Red Fort. He discussed it with President Joe Biden. Yeah. And of course, there were assurances that yes, the situation is going to be normal, and Bangladesh believes in communal harmony. And the present interim government, they have taken oath under the constitution of Bangladesh, which has secularism and democracy as its two main pillars, in addition nationalism and socialism. But it seems that Professor Mohammad Yunus does not seem to be in control at all, and he is being forced by the Jamaat-e-Islami and other Islamist parties, even the Tahrir is being talked about, to do all these actions which are targeting the minorities and trying to force them to leave. The Buddhist minorities in Khagrachari were targeted, and they're all being told to leave. Now you're seeing these huge numbers of people who are there. The remarkable fact about this, the visuals you are showing, that this is the younger generation. This is the younger generation of the minority. They're saying, we are citizens of this country. We will stay. We want our rights. And they've in fact made a list of 8 demands, an 8-point demand for. And as you also rightly pointed out, even the coverage, the journalist coverage of such events is coming under criticism. Yeah. Many people are not writing about it at all. And the world community is talking about the fact that journalism in Bangladesh, free media, is under complete threat. Hundreds of journalists have lost their jobs, they've been put in jail, they've been charged with murder. And this at a time when these very people, the government, when Sheikh Hasina was Prime Minister, they used to blame her that you're not allowing freedom of the press. And now they're doing exactly the same thing. And Chinmoy Prabhu, whom you're showing on the visuals, he is the person who is formerly with ISKCON. And in Bangladesh, it is the ISKCON and the Ramakrishna Mission. These are the two institutions that have always helped all communities, right from 1971. Anybody who needed food, shelter, any kind of help, they were there. Clothes, and they were there always helping them with everything. But now the government, the Jamaat-e-Islami, is turning on them. And they are, trying to stop all their meetings. In fact, the present incident when Chinmoy Prabhu was arrested, he's been charged sedition. And what is this sedition? Apparently, in one of the meetings, they're saying, the yellow flag was higher than the national flag. The minority communities, whenever they have their meetings, they first raise the national flag, and then they sing the national anthem. And they are very, very loyal to their country, to their flag, and so on. And now to put this charge of sedition, which is something which even Sheikh Hasina never did. Nobody puts this charge of sedition. And the Hindu community members said, look, it is not true. We never raised any flag above the national flag. And now when the protesters turned up in Chittagong, when the hearing was going on in the court, and bail was denied for Chinmoy Prabhu, then a lot of people were agitated, but the police attacked the agitators. And they would not let them go anywhere. You're seeing the police attacking the agitators, and this is the unheard of. The perpetrators of the violence, the perpetrators of all the incidents since 5th of August, none of them have been attacked. None of them have been caught. None of them have been apprehended. There has been no justice for any of the attacks of the minorities since the 5th of August. But on the other hand, the people who are the victims of these attacks, they are now being charged, they are being chased, they're being accused even of sedition. So it is a matter of great concern that in Bangladesh, which is prided itself all these decades of being a secular country, of allowing all kinds of festivals, and being completely one which is together in living together with all communities and ethnicities and religions, they are now facing this situation. And you're seeing the large numbers of people who are taking to the streets and who will not be cowed down by these threats.
Okay. High Commissioner, in a latest in this particular matter, the Rights and Risks Analysis Group, RRAG, has filed a complaint with the UN Working Group on arbitrary detention against illegal and arbitrary detention of the most prominent minority Hindu religious monk in Bangladesh, which is Chinmoy Krishna Das Brahmachari, by the interim government of Bangladesh, headed by Dr. Mohammad Yunus. How do you see this, and what implications do you think it will have now?
Well, I certainly hope that the UN will take account of it. The RRAG has been waging a very strong struggle in favor of the minorities of Bangladesh, and has been pointing out not only to the government of Bangladesh but to all global institutions that this is just not on. This kind of genocidal attacks on the minorities cannot be allowed to continue. We saw, for example, the RRAG had also taken up the attacks on the Buddhists in Khagrachari some weeks ago, and how the Buddhists did not even celebrate their major festival of the year because they were so concerned at the situation. Because both in Khagrachari in September and in Chattogram in October and November, we were seeing even army soldiers taking part in the attacks on the minorities. So this has really jolted the comfort levels, the living conditions of the minorities. They are now totally scared to come out, to follow their economic professions, to be a part of the national life, and they don't know what will happen to them next. So the RRAG has done right in taking it up at the higher level and calling for the world's attention on what is happening in Bangladesh.
Okay.
We are certainly very concerned, and as you have shown, the government of India has put out a strong note about it. But in reply to that note, the government of Bangladesh said nothing. They said, oh, this is our internal matter, and we have communal harmony, and look, Durga Puja happened normally, and we know in Durga Puja there were a lot of attacks on many pandals, but there's complete denial by the interim government, complete denial.
Indeed. High Commissioner, after MEA, you were just mentioning this, after MEA issued statement, Dhaka reacted and called the issue an internal affairs of Bangladesh. What do you make out of it?
Well, they certainly get very upset when, although the first time when it happened in August itself, when our Prime Minister had taken it up with Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus, and he had mentioned this even in the letter of congratulations that he sent to the Chief Advisor. The Indian government has from the very first day said that we are prepared to deal with the new government, and we are prepared to talk to them and maintain the bilateral relationship. The Chief Advisor at that time had telephoned Prime Minister Modi, and it seemed that he would be taking a lot of interest in this, and he would be ensuring that communal harmony has been preserved. But it didn't happen like that. And in fact, when the first attack was violent and directly on the Hindu minorities, the second wave of attacks came on the economic livelihoods of the minorities. And they were forced to give up their jobs. Professors in university were surrounded and asked to resign. Teachers in schools were surrounded and asked to resign. And this is all this kind of a complete mobocracy, that it happens that a whole group of people come and force the people to resign, and then you say, well, they've done it on their own. So it's a very, very strange situation where the Jamaat-e-Islami is trying to force the situation, but at the same time don't want any responsibility. And in fact, the leaders of the Jamaat-e-Islami, even as we speak, they are in London meeting people there, meeting members of parliament there, and saying, we are a very moderate Islamic party, and we don't do anything, and we are believing in all religion, when their own constitution of the political party talks about the supremacy of the Quran and the supremacy of the religious law.
Correct.
Yeah, so it's a very difficult
All right.
situation. We are very really concerned about this because because of the complete denial from the interim government.
All right, High Commissioner, thank you so much for joining in on the broadcast.